All right, back again with another recording, and as promised, like in the last video, in this one I'm going to talk about privacy and responsibility, and this sort of goes back to my first video, what happened to our country. People have to realize that responsibility is something that people have to learn these days. And what I find absolutely hilarious about today's society is that most people don't know how to take responsibility for their own actions, and that's why their life goes to shit. And it's like I said in my first video about EBT recipients. The thing of it is, now that you guys got your EBT back, what what changed? Nothing. The thing of it is, you guys complained about your so-called privileges getting taken away from you, but there's a reason why those privileges got taken away from you. They got taken away from you, it's because you didn't learn to keep your privacy where it should be. The thing that people have to learn if they don't want to get themselves doxxed or if they don't want to get themselves compromised, they need to learn responsibility of keeping their personal life private. And those who did lose their benefits and those who used to live in Section 8 and drive a fancy car and stuff like that, I told these people on X and I told these people on YouTube, if you guys would have kept your mouth shut and kept a low profile, then you wouldn't be losing the stuff that you have. Think about it. Think about it. Every person makes this mistake, if not most of the country makes this mistake, is that they always think that somehow or some way they need a type of outlet or they feel like their voices need to be heard. And I tell them, you guys have everything to lose. You guys have everything to lose. And again, I even told the people that make their videos saying that, oh, we're going to commit a bunch of crime if we don't get our EBT back, or we're going to do all this stuff and intimidate people and threaten our communities if we don't get what we want. Then they complain, well, we got kids to feed and all this other stuff. Get a job. Get a job and keep a low profile. The fact of the matter is that most people on the internet these days and people around my age, they don't get it. They don't get it. And I tell people, what is so hard about keeping your nose to the grindstone and minding your own business and keeping people out of your own business? And this is another thing, and it's not just about EBT recipients, it's also about Twitch streamers, YouTubers, and Kick streamers as a whole, including Rumble streamers or TikTok content creators, all of them. They can never seem to keep their personal life quiet and keeping their fans out of their personal business. And they always feel like they have to make a video about their personal life and about why they believe that what they're doing is something that needs to be said, and they feel like, well, I feel the need that I have to tell you guys. No, you don't. No, you don't. You just use it as an opportunity to get more views and likes. Again, when you're in the entertainment industry, your personal life should not be out in the open. Your personal life should be kept quiet. And why do you think so many streamers and content creators' careers end? It's because they can't seem to learn to keep their personal life quiet. Why do you think guys like iDubbbz, Burger Planet, and all the people that were once beloved become locals? They became locals. It's because they couldn't keep their personal business private. They couldn't keep their personal business private. And that's the thing that makes me scratch my head and laugh a lot, because it's like these people that screwed up their own careers had everything in the palm of their hands. And again, instead of making clickbait content, why don't you use your hashtags and your description box to tell people what your video is about? You don't necessarily need, confetti filled thumbnails and clickbait bullshit to make a video. That's what the so called quote unquote experts say you have to do. No, you don't. You just have to put your video in different platforms like X, YouTube, Instagram, and wherever you can put it. But that's my point. And like I told everybody online, even old videos became viral years later after the fact, and people are like, whoa, these videos are ancient. Well, no, duh. And the only reason why you're noticing them now, it's because people like you ended up getting the same videos in your recommendations. And again, I don't need money to speak my voice or my perspective on how I think life is and how I see life. I just have to say it and people will agree. And the thing of it is, that's what people with social anxiety have to get over. They have to get over the fear of what other people think. And the thing of it is, you don't have to fear what other people think. People fear the words that you speak. And that's why some people lash out at you. It's because they fear what you say is the truth. And then they try to debate you or share their perspective, which is okay, but they fear what they don't understand. That's the point, is that they fear what they don't understand. But in retrospect, like I always tell all the people that made fun of Charlie Kirk getting assassinated, if you're going to say stuff like that and act out, then you better hope that your personal information isn't out there for everyone to see, because if it is, you're screwed. But it's just like me with my Facebook and everything else that I have. I make sure that I don't have my personal information out in the open, and I make sure that I don't have my first and last name, and always make sure to use a code name. And that's what I do. That's what I do. I make sure that I don't share where I work, what I do for a living, because nobody needs to know about that. Because when people ask me personal questions like that, I tell them, trick question, next. Because I know they're just trying to get anything out of anybody so then they can stick their nose in other people's business. And that's why I tell people I rub my nose with my palm, basically calling them a brown noser. And nobody likes people that brown nose in other people's business. And like I tell famous streamers all the time, your careers wouldn't fall apart, or your life wouldn't fall apart, and then you'd have to live your life in secrecy for the rest of your life if you didn't do dumb things to make yourself go into hiding. For example, look at EDP 445. That guy literally has to live into hiding because of what he did. Yeah, because of what he did, he has to go into hiding. And like I told a lot of the people online, I'd rather be the person that I am now with low viewership than to be a low cow. Yeah, I'd rather be a person with low viewership that doesn't have anybody have a beef with me than to be a low cow that has beef with everyone. But I tell the people that destroyed their lives, the thing of it is, if you would have kept a low profile and kept your mouth shut, then you wouldn't have to go into hiding or, go under a different persona or change your identity and stuff like that. Think about it. Really think about it. Yet I'm a guy that has mental issues, Asperger's, and autism, and even I know better not to do the things that people did to destroy their careers. Go figure. But the fact of the matter is, most of the people online have to realize that privacy from your social security, your income, your place of work, your business, yeah, you never want to make that stuff go public. Now, if you're a business owner, then yeah, you want to promote your business as much as you can. So if you are an entertainer on YouTube and stuff like that, yeah, it's important to advertise, but talking about your personal life is no way to get views. I see people making videos about, how depressed they feel or talk about why they feel depressed, or famous YouTubers finally talk about something personal and then end up, going down the rabbit hole of nothingness. Yeah, why do you think those people end up losing views? It's because they did something that they shouldn't have done in the first place. Yeah, and clout chasers are hugely guilty of this because look what they do. Clout chasers always do the same thing no matter what, because they want that big video that goes viral. But here's what I tell people that want growth now: growth takes time and patience. And, you got to keep your personal life private, because if you don't, then people that don't like you, they will literally use it against you. And I've seen YouTubers fall over the years because they talked about their personal life, or they talked about something that they should have never talked about in the first place. And like I tell everybody online, this is where you meet your downfall. Yeah, you end up meeting your downfall simply because, you end up meeting your downfall because you end up talking about things that you should have never talked about in the first place. Yeah. And a lot of YouTubers, a lot of kick streamers, and everybody in between, just like Jack Dougherty and guys like him, they end up meeting their personal downfall. It's because they couldn't just stay out of the limelight and keep their business private. And the thing of it is, these are the types of people that end up meeting their downfall. And even Asmongold talked about it as well. You know, if guys like Hassan Piker and many streamers like him would have kept everything private, then yes. And if they didn't make everything personal, then of course. And that's why these people lose viewership. They lose viewership, it's because they make things personal. Yeah, they make things personal. And again, even Hassan and his orbiters, and even some of the people that stream that cry and whine about how difficult it is to be a streamer, it's not difficult to be a streamer. Yeah, it's not difficult to be a streamer at all. It's really not difficult to be a streamer at all. What's so difficult about sitting at home for 6 to 12 to 24 hours to do a stream? And again, a lot of people deteriorate their health by doing it, but think about it. Think about it. It's not that difficult. It really isn't. Well, Samuel Poulin, he's out. But anyway, before I get off track, the point is with people is that they gotta realize that, if you keep your personal life quiet, then yeah, you can voice your opinions about politics, but when it comes to personal life issues or what goes on behind the scenes about your family life, that's something that you don't share with other people. You don't share that kind of stuff with other people. And again, if you guys make up a big lie and chase clout and end up getting a bunch of views because you use view bots, or you make something up for everybody to believe, sooner or later your audience is going to catch on to what you're doing, and when they do, you lose most of your viewership. I've seen people go from hundreds of thousands of views to thousands of views, or millions of views to like a few hundred views because they got caught in a lie. And again, it's just the way that it is. Because you know why people go from millions of views to hundreds and thousands of views, or 100,000 views to 1,000 views, or 1,000 views to dozens of views? It's because they got caught in a lie. They got caught in a lie. And that's something that you don't want to do, is end up getting caught in a lie. So if you have things going for you, you better make sure that people don't find out about your personal life, because once they do, that's when you lose your viewership. But anyway, that's all I got, and the next video will be something that I'll want to talk about on another subject. I haven't figured out what subject I want to talk about yet, but it'll be an interesting one.